Have you ever wondered why people support leaders who control everything? Even in the 21st century, many countries still follow totalitarian regimes, where leaders hold absolute power. Shockingly, studies show that nearly 50% of the world's population lives under some form of authoritarian rule today. That's over 3.5 billion people. It's not just a thing of the past. Countries like North Korea, Russia, and China still thrive under totalitarian governments. But what makes people support such leaders? It's not always about fear or repression, as many might think. In fact, some of the most loyal followers genuinely believe these leaders are the solution to their problems. They see them as saviors, not tyrants. So, why do so many buy into this? In this video, we'll uncover the surprising strategies that make totalitarian leaders so powerful. From their magnetic charisma to the manipulation of history, we'll dive into the psychology behind their support. Get ready to explore how fear, unity, and division create a perfect storm that keeps millions following their every word. Trust me, you'll want to stick around to discover just how these leaders win hearts and minds. Chapter 1: The Power of the Strongman. How charisma fuels a movement. Totalitarian leaders often rise to power because of their larger-than-life personas. They have a unique ability to captivate crowds with their charisma, using it as their main weapon. Charisma is not just a natural gift, it's a carefully crafted strategy. Leaders like Adolf Hitler, Benito Mussolini, and even modern-day figures understand that their presence alone can sway millions. Studies show that people are more likely to follow someone who exudes confidence and certainty, even if their policies are questionable. Psychologist Robert Cialdini, in his book Influence, explains that confidence can create an illusion of competence. People, naturally, follow those they believe can solve their problems. In fact, a Gallup poll from 2019 revealed that 60% of people who trust their leader also feel more secure and hopeful about their future. Charismatic leaders often promise to deliver the impossible, making them sound like the only ones who can fix everything. It's no surprise that totalitarian figures focus on delivering bold, dramatic speeches. A powerful speech can hypnotize an audience, making them believe in the leader's vision. Many supporters don't critically evaluate the claims being made, they're drawn to the energy. The strongman persona appeals to people who feel lost or disillusioned. Moreover, charisma can manipulate emotions on a mass scale. One study found that individuals are more likely to follow charismatic figures in times of economic distress, as they seem to offer hope and clarity. In times of uncertainty, people want someone who seems like they have all the answers, and strongman leaders know this. Chapter 2: Fear or Loyalty. The thin line between oppression and support. When a leader uses fear to maintain control, loyalty becomes a tricky thing. Totalitarian regimes thrive on a sense of danger and chaos. Leaders often manufacture or exaggerate external threats, real or imagined, to unite their followers under a common banner. This tactic keeps people on edge, forcing them to rely on the leader for protection. A 2017 study published in Political Psychology shows that individuals are far more likely to support autocratic regimes when they feel unsafe. It's simple: when people feel threatened, they seek out those who promise security. In totalitarian states, loyalty often takes the form of obedience out of necessity rather than choice. Think of North Korea, where citizens are constantly reminded of external enemies and internal traitors. The fear of punishment or even death silences dissent. Interestingly, studies on totalitarian regimes reveal that many people initially support the leader out of fear, only to later adopt genuine loyalty as they are slowly conditioned to believe the leader's narrative. Surveys show that, in many cases, people in these regimes don't even view the leader's actions as oppressive, they see them as protective. A study by Freedom House found that in countries with highly controlled media, people were often unaware of the full extent of governmental oppression. When fear is in play, loyalty is less about belief in the leader and more about believing the leader is the only option for survival. Chapter 3: In Search of Stability. How chaos breeds fascination. People are drawn to totalitarian leaders when they believe their world is falling apart. Economic crises, wars, and social unrest create an environment where stability becomes the most attractive quality in a leader. The promise of restoring order during a chaotic time is enough to win over many. Leaders like Stalin and Mao capitalized on national crises to solidify their control. They positioned themselves as the only ones capable of ending the chaos. A fascinating statistic from the Pew Research Center shows that in times of economic downturn, support for authoritarian leaders rises. In fact, the 2008 financial crisis caused a spike in support for authoritarian regimes around the world. In countries experiencing severe economic inequality, totalitarian leaders promise a return to stability, even if it means crushing opposition. Additionally, totalitarian leaders often tap into the national psyche, using promises of national greatness to sway their people. By focusing on themes like patriotism and national pride, they offer a vision that seems to be the only cure for the problems at hand. The message is simple: only a strong, central authority can lead the nation out of chaos. If you're enjoying this, don't forget to hit subscribe and ring the bell to stay updated on more insights into how power works around the world. Chapter 4: The Mirage of Unity. Why people want a one-size-fits-all solution. Totalitarian regimes promise unity in a world full of division. By presenting themselves as the ultimate authority, they propose simple solutions to complex problems. Their ability to deliver a singular vision can be very appealing, especially in fractured societies. Many people crave a clear path forward, even if it means sacrificing freedom. In countries where there is deep political polarization, leaders who promise unity often attract large followings. A 2015 study from the American Political Science Review showed that when people are deeply divided, they are more likely to support a strong leader who promises to end divisions. People find comfort in the simplicity of a one-size-fits-all answer, even if that answer comes with authoritarian measures. Moreover, totalitarian leaders often make bold statements like, "I am the voice of the people." This creates a sense of collective purpose and belonging, even though it may exclude dissenting views. It's a psychological trick. By defining us and them, these leaders create a clear in-group identity. When the leader can frame themselves as the only representative of the people, supporters often feel a deep loyalty to them, especially if they feel unheard or marginalized. Chapter 5: Echoes of the Past. The Lure of Historical Revisionism. Totalitarian leaders are masters of historical revisionism. They manipulate the past to create a narrative that justifies their current power. By painting themselves as the rightful heirs to a glorious history, they can gain the support of people who feel nostalgic for a time they may never have experienced. Leaders like Viktor Orban in Hungary, for example, regularly refer to a mythical past to rally the masses around their vision of a restored nation. Historical revisionism is not just about rewriting facts, it's about rewriting emotions. By manipulating how people feel about their history, these leaders create a collective memory that supports their rule. For example, they might glorify past military victories or emphasize a time of national unity before external threats. This is a powerful strategy because it taps into the deep-seated emotional connections people have to their cultural identity. In fact, one study found that nationalism and historical nostalgia are directly linked to the rise of authoritarian leaders. When people feel that their national identity is threatened, they turn to figures who promise to restore that lost greatness. These leaders skillfully play on those emotions, framing themselves as the saviors of the nation's past. Chapter 6: The Divide. How us versus them. Politics wins hearts. The us versus them narrative is one of the most effective tools in the totalitarian leader's arsenal. By dividing the world into two categories, loyal citizens and enemies, the leader strengthens their grip on power. The enemy can be anyone: the opposition, minorities, foreigners, or elites. This division makes it easier to rally support, as it creates a clear enemy to fight against. A study by the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology found that political polarization increases support for authoritarian leaders. The more a leader can demonize the other side, the more entrenched their followers become. In totalitarian states, leaders often amplify this divide by controlling the media and spreading propaganda that paints the opposition as dangerous or subversive. Interestingly, this divide is often emotional. The leader doesn't just present logical arguments against their enemies, they incite fear, anger, and hatred. This emotional manipulation turns ordinary citizens into loyal followers, ready to defend the leader at all costs. People who are emotionally invested in the narrative feel a deep sense of purpose in supporting the leader's policies, even when those policies are extreme or harmful. If you found this video helpful, make sure to subscribe and share it with friends to help spread these crucial insights about how power works. Stay tuned for more.